Now, NX has a basic set of functions programmed for each mouse button. The first mouse button is for selecting items, objects, something out of the tree, whatever it is, typical mouse functionality. Something that they have done with the first mouse button is if I come over and pick something, you'll notice I get this little ribbon that pops up. So a lot of times the function that you want is going to be in that ribbon. So when you pick something, ribbon pops up, you can get used to going to said ribbon. So you can see here, there's the delete. If I want to change the color or hide something, all of those tools just pop up with that first mouse button. It's kind of nice. It takes a minute to get used to, I'll admit, because we're so used to not seeing it, but get used to it because it really speeds up your modeling and designing interface time, right? You're not moving the mouse as much and everything is there, that it's always there. The hide is always there, the delete, those types of things. I'm going to jump all the way over to the third mouse button now. And when I right mouse click over something, and again, I'm clicking, I'm not holding the mouse button down. I am just simply clicking. And it's very important because you get two different things that happen depending on if you click the mouse button, the third mouse button, or hold the third mouse button down. So here I simply clicked. Now you'll notice I get this large menu as well as that little pop-up I got with the first mouse button. So some of these tools are also located here in this menu. And obviously I have a lot of additional tools. Now, as I go through, you'll see based off of what I right mouse click over the top of, again, right mouse click, I get different menus. So if I come over and just click out in space, for example, I get this menu. You'll have rendering styles. You can change your background color. What's your work view? Placing an object, drag and drop between windows. Here I can refresh, fit, pan, zoom, rotate. So this is all with a right mouse click out in space. Now, if I'm inside of one of the navigators and I right mouse click, you'll see a different menu. If I go into, let's say, the part navigator where the history of the model is, and I right mouse click on something, you'll see, again, a different menu. So this is all based off of a click. Now, I'm going to come out into the graphics window. If I click and hold the third mouse button, you'll see I get this little radial that pops up. Here, again, based off of what I am holding over the top of, I will get a different radial or pop-up or marking menu. Now, you'll notice that if I click and hold and switch to the left really quickly, it'll orient the view to the nearest true orthographic view. If I click and hold and let's say switch up to the right and up, it'll go just to a plain shaded view. You'll notice the edges are turned off. I can do the same thing and switch up just straight up. If my view is basically zoomed way out and I want to fit everything in, I can click and hold and there's my fit. Or in this case, if I could just click, there is my fit once again. So there's a lot of redundancies there, but the nice thing about that little pop-up, that little marking menu with a click and hold is I can do it as a motion very quickly without having to wait. So if I wanted to fit, you'll notice that I just click and I just simply moved my mouse to where I know that icon is at. So if I wanted to change my shading, so you'll notice that the menu doesn't even pop up. Because I'm able to move my mouse so quickly to that location, the system knows that, okay, he wants this shading option, or I want to orient to the true orthographic view or nearest orthographic view. And those are under those little pop-ups, those little radials. If I come over and click and hold over the top of something, you'll notice here I get a different radial menu. You have delete, edit object display, you can hide, show, assign materials. In some cases, depending upon what you're hovering over the top of, you can get features to apply as well. So once you get familiar with these and you understand what you can do with them, great tools. You can navigate very quickly within NX. Now, the mouse button that I jumped over, the middle mouse button. The middle mouse button, or in this case, a wheel. If I use my wheel, I can zoom in and zoom out based off of where my mouse is on the screen. So if my mouse is over to the right and I zoom in and zoom out, I'm zooming in and zooming out to that point. If I'm over the part, you'll notice I'm zooming in and zooming out to the part. So it's based off of that. Also, if I click and hold the middle mouse button, you'll notice that it acts as a rotate. So right now I'm holding just the middle mouse button. Next, if I click and hold the first mouse button while I'm still pressing down the middle mouse button, you'll see I have a zoom in and out. Now, if I come over and click and hold the middle mouse button once again, and I hold the third mouse button, so I'm holding the two mouse buttons down, you'll see I have my pan. So the system allows you to go in and simply use series of mouse button clicks and holds to manipulate the data on the screen. You don't need to use anything on the keyboard. If you do want to use something on the keyboard, you can. So if I click and hold the middle mouse button, once again, it's rotate, but if I hold the shift key, then you're able to pan. So you have some keyboard options and you have some mouse options. Now, if you want to use additional tools to help orient, align, you have some of these tools up here at the top. Now you'll notice there's a zoom, there's my pan, and there's my rotate as well. So these tools basically mimic what you have within your either your right mouse click, there's your zoom, pan, rotate, or once again, use the middle mouse button for your rotate, and there's your pan. And once again, use the wheel to zoom in and out, or the middle mouse button, and then in this case, the first mouse button for your zoom in and out as well.